And what's going on? Welcome to Contemporary Comrades Podcast. It's your boy Heavy J. Here with my man Corn as always.
What up? What up?
Shoot. We're back for upload review part 2, episode 6 through 10 of the first season. Yeah. Before we get into it, man, I just want to say, look, shout out to all the new subscribers. You know what I'm saying? We see y'all. Shout out to all the new followers on IG as well, because we see y'all as well. And we appreciate everybody fucking with the videos lately, man. It's been cool, and there's more to come. Trust us on that.
It's popping here on the Comrades. You already know.
Yeah, for sure. So Corn, you got anything you want to add before we hop right into it, man? But I think we're pretty much just gonna get right to the shit.
I'll save it for the end. But in the meantime, for right now, I do want to say thank you. Same thing Jaren said. I just want to I want to second everything Jaren said, which is thank you guys for showing support here on Comrades. Thanks to Chance. Austin Fox and Grizzly Adams, Chance and Isom. I mean, we already
everybody know at this point.
Chance and Isom, and everybody else who's shown love to us here on Comrades, who's shown. And speaking of showing love, and all the people that showed us love too. I just uploaded the two new episodes from our archive on SoundCloud up here on the YouTube channel, and I want to say shout out to the people who supported us back then on SoundCloud as well.
Yes,
we had quite a bit of them. I don't know. I don't know whether they're bots. I'm sure some of them were bots or whatever, but nonetheless, thank you all for supporting us in the past on SoundCloud, and we hope to continue to gain more supporters and more people that fuck with our content, whether it's political related, whether it's society related, whether it's race related, whether it's just chopping it up about women related, or whether it's what we're doing here tonight, which is giving you guys a good show review, or a good review of a good show, but it's really more of foreshadowing, which is what this show did. So again, no matter what the content is, no matter what kind of content you guys are interested in that we do here on Comrades, thank you for showing love, man.
And that's for damn sure. and speaking of showing love, make sure you hit the like and subscribe and do all that good shit, because we got a lot of good shit coming, man. More good shit in the works as always. Man, so this last half of upload, man, it was kind of, dare I say, it was a little dry. Dare I say, it was a little, it's a little uneventful. I mean, things were revealed, important things were revealed, but overall, man, the last half, it didn't really hit like the first half, man. To be honest with you. What are your overall thoughts before we?
That last half of the season of Upload. Now, again, we know there's going to be a season 2. Season 2 is already confirmed. Yeah. Don't know exactly when it's coming, but it's coming next year at some point. The second half of season 1 of Upload was really, really like. Again, but the thing was, every episode I kept coming back after every.
Definitely.
That's the thing. It's like. It was more tuning out for me and less memorable for me than the first half, the first 5 episodes were. However, it did keep me looped in, especially with the mystery of who actually murdered Nathan. That was very interesting. And again, like I said, they played hot potato this entire season of who murdered Nathan. But we'll get more into that. But yeah, like you said, it was very dry. Because again, Jaren, I know you're not into that kind of stuff, and I'm barely into that kind of stuff. Because there are some romances that I do cherish in the world of cinema, or in film, period. But this romance I didn't really care for, because again, it's just some random chick who's a random worker, caught up in this whole system of the foreshadowing of what's really going on in the world,
right,
that we live in,
right.
I felt like this could have done without the romance. But then again, if it did it without the romance, this would not be a 10-episode season. I can tell you that for sure. It,
No.
it, would- it would probably be like a 6 episode season if they took out all the romance. And I'm not saying all the obviously the girlfriend is or the the girlfriend slash fiance whatever Ingrid. I remember not making the same mistake I made last episode and called her Gertrude. But Ingrid is needed because she's not. There's a reason why that love interest, she plays a huge part in the show.
100%.
But Nora, although yes, her part is like implemented into the show, it's weird, man. Like I feel like without the whole romance stuff, this show would have been a 10 out of 10 for me. This show would definitely have gotten a bigger grade for me. But yeah, second half of the season, not so much into was almost forgettable. Besides, the key points that we're going to be talking about, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah. So before we even get into some of the key points, what were since you brought that up, I want to ask you, what would you so do you think that you could just pull the romance so basically you're saying like the romance of with Nora specifically was unnecessary. So if you
yeah, I
could
believe
so
it
if you
was.
could pull
I think there's a way that you can tell. That's to me. And again, I don't want to call it lazy writing because whoever wrote this, fucking brilliant.
yeah, oh yeah, it's great.
Um,
And the humor is kind of funny too, to be
yeah,
honest with you.
yeah. There
I
was
fuck
one
with the
point.
humor in it too.
There was one point in one episode I saw earlier where I was just thinking to myself, I was like, that was such a like cheesy like joke, but it was actually oh yeah, it was all right. So you remember at one of these episodes, but it was at one point where she was walking on the water, and then no, she wasn't walking on water. She told him he could walk on water.
Oh,
Remember?
that was
All he had to do was press the
episode
button,
7 or something
and
like that.
yeah, and
8.
so he steps and he falls into the water, and you're like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But
Yeah.
then she does it. But then later on, they have like that serious conversation about her dad, and everything, and then him and Ingrid, and so they're sitting on that bench outside, and then she just gets up and she starts walking on the water, and she's like, "It's okay, you can do it." And he's like, "Oh, I can." And then he gets up and he falls in the water.
And then
And
he falls in the water.
that was funny. It was funny. I like that.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
it was super cheesy, you kind of, but I didn't see it coming because it came right after a serious moment. Which usually you'll be able to tell that, okay. But yeah, like you said, like the writing's great.
Yeah.
However, I would have written out the romance. I would have written out the Nora and Nathan. Maybe in season 2 I might like it, but season 1 so far, I'm like, it's just too much, man. Because she's trying to hide it from her boss, and now we all of a sudden care about her boss and her relationship now. Like
Right.
I'm like I don't want to. I don't care about her boss being a bitch, and like I don't like her boss, but I also no one likes their boss. So it's
Right.
like that kind of took me out of what the message that they're really telling us. You know what I mean?
I agree. I
But
agree.
maybe more viewers liked it because of it included romance. I guess that's what a lot of women like. So
And her boss tripped me out, man, because she ended up, of course, finding out about them. I can't remember which episode. I think it was episode like 7 or 8, something like that. So she found out about them. She put her on that little 2-week leave, and then she logged in as her avatar, and then he like professed his love to Nora, and it was her fucking boss, of
yeah,
course. So
yeah,
now that's where they tied her boss in, because they were only dropping little nuggets of her boss being a bitch, basically here and there.
yeah.
Then when she put her on the leave, she was like, "Oh yeah, that Cliff Bar company policy," and then she fucking took it, threw it in the trash. That's like you're a piece of shit. Like that's a shitty fucking boss. But again,
Yeah.
it's all. I think they were trying to. I think they came in so hard with the first 5 episodes of like all the little crazy little ways that we could be living in a future like this. And I think they ran out of fucking steam a little bit because the second half of the first episode wasn't really so much like that. But I guess as the show evolves, it'll probably be less about all the crazy shit they're doing and more about, I guess, the storyline.
And
So
what's
I guess
crazy too? And
what's up?
again, I don't want to get too much into like the like film part of it or anything like that because that's for other stuff. But like, it's crazy that this season got 10 episodes to start because most shows when they first start, they don't get that many episodes.
I
Like
say
they
we get about
definitely don't
eight,
get
eight at
10.
least
They
8.
get like an 8 episode. They get the green light for 8 episodes. That's like the average for like your first season of anything. Um, yeah, I was shocked that Amazon got them 10 episodes to start with. That to me, I mean, it's good that it was successful. Um, but man, that's to me that's crazy. But again, like you said, like that first that's for those first half, the first half of the
Yeah,
season was amazing, and then
but
yeah, it seemed like they lost steam after that.
true. But look, it is it's Greg Daniels at the end of the day. This is the guy who created The Office, SNL, and The Simpsons. Parks and Rec, all that stuff. So I think he would probably have been quite offended if they didn't give him 10 episodes.
Mm. I
I'm,
keep forgetting who wrote it.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
directed it too or no?
I think he did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think he did. Let me let me
that's an
let me
amazing mind.
let me look. So Greg Daniels created it. Let me see who. Let me see if I can find who directed it.
But I will say for the people, man, while Jaren's looking, look, you guys have got to watch this show. Find some way to watch this show
Yeah,
because, or at least the
definitely.
first 5 episodes, because man, it is a wild, wild show, man. It's good though. Um, Especially for the viewership here that we have here on Contemporary Comrades. This is just for you guys, man. Like all this stuff that we've been talking about, what they're gonna do, and all this, controlling the mind and getting inside the mental aspect of things, and actually being able to feel your physical body while being inside of your mind, man. And that's stuff that we literally dream of. Like when you're inside of a dream and you feel like you can feel yourself, and then
Hmm.
you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I didn't do that. That wasn't me, bro. They're about to take everything to the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're doing what's called predictive programming, and they're telling you what they're going to do by TV shows like Upload, which is why we're trying to. This is why we're doing this, and we're gonna you kind of see the merge between the entertainment and the the I guess you call it the future or the future plans, right? But I did find who directed Upload, and there's a shit ton of directors. So Greg Daniels directed two
Oh,
episodes. But then Casey Anning directed another two. Dana Reed directed another two. Jonathan
I've heard
Van
of Dana Reed
Tulken,
before.
yeah, Jonathan Van Tulken directed two episodes. Jeffrey Blitz directed one episode, and David Rogers directed one episode. So
Okay, so they went that route, which is a
yeah,
smart route. That's a
yeah,
smart route. But I mean, that could either be a good thing or a bad thing to your show. But again, that's getting too nerdy. But
yeah.
yeah, um, yeah, kudos to them though. I mean, great show still, man. You know, one of the really big plot points that I think they left open for season 2 was um because in the end the dad did take natural way of death, right? That was the
I
conclusion
think,
of his
yeah, I think he did. I think he
because
did.
he visited Lakeview, but he said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna meet your mom
Yep,
on the
yep.
other side.
And then Nora was like, "Can you just do one thing? Tell mom hi for me." They had the little
Yeah.
sad moment or whatever.
And again, like I said, Nora can be used for more than just a fucking romance. Like
Exactly.
this is a really good story because it's now giving us a look through your average human being like you and me, which I mean we count as like your average, person per se,
Uh
statistically.
huh.
Like we're not out here making all this money, you know what I mean? It's not like we have this stuff at our disposal. It's like,
Hmm.
wow, this is pretty much, you either have this option or natural death. All this other rich people stuff, they deal with all the other stuff. But with us, it's just this or that. And I think that, giving us a look at what the average person would go through in that situation, and not like Ingrid, because she comes from a rich family. So she had all these options and all this other shit, and she decided to, of all things, well, we'll get to that point. But
Yep.
with Nora, it gives us that inside scoop of, okay, her dad is dying. Are you going to upload him, or are you going to let him die naturally? or let his soul go free naturally, or however the fuck they try and word that shit. But
Yeah, they try to make it sound like shitty and like downplay it, and like uploading is so much better.
yeah,
That's the weird part.
which obviously we know is what they're gonna do if this happens in real life.
Of course.
You know,
Yes, of
it.
course.
I mean, look at what they're doing now with shit that's unmoral or immoral, and they're making it seem like it's either this option or just plain old life, right? Um, so yeah, I mean, is that not what
Yeah.
they're doing though?
Oh, it is. It is.
You know, like they're making, and I'm starting. Never mind. I don't want to get too third eye, but
No, go. This. What the
I,
fuck you mean? Look at our logo.
I'm starting to think like maybe life isn't as bad as we now. Again, life sucks and you die.
You're
You
getting
die.
on to something here.
But maybe life is not as bad as what we make it, or not even what we make it seem like, but what we look at it as. Maybe it's not as terrible because let me tell you something. We're average people. We go through average bullshit, but we also go through our own. We also deal with our own demons. We also deal with our own insecurities. We also deal with hard work and not being what's the word for it? I don't want to use the word rewarded, but I guess rewarded for our hard work.
Validated, maybe.
Validated. You know what I mean? Like I won't say everyone is dealing with that, but there's a lot of us. Most people are dealing with that. I
Yeah.
feel comfortable saying most people. I might be wrong in that, but I'll say most people are always dealing with that. And it's like it's only because of the way the world is and the way the world has been um fuck, I'm running out of fucking words tonight. But the way the world has been used to things, right? To where it's been used to, okay, we're going to validate you in this area and not in that area. Because this area, it's made out to seem so much better than what you're doing on your own. You know what I mean? Like it's like, hey, come over here where everyone else is at, and it seems like a big old party, but you don't really know that you're not exploring your mind in somewhere else. You know what I mean? You're not taking your soul somewhere else. You're going over here to upload and just becoming a program at that point, becoming a fucking computer at that point.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, bruh, he made the right decision by saying, look, I'm going to die the natural way and I'm going to go with your mother.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find her. First of all, there's a couple things I want to say about that point, if you don't mind, Jaron. I don't want to take
No,
over the whole
I would
fucking,
no. Go
but
ahead. It's cool, but I was going to talk about the dad too, so we get into it.
but there's a couple things I want to talk about that, and that's this. How many people can you say that you know personally? I don't even say personally, but people that you know in IRL, we're talking. So
Uh-huh.
in real life, how many people do you know that actually want to spend the rest of their life with one person
Um,
and actually truly mean it too?
I know a fair amount. I would say I would say that yeah, I would say I know a fair amount of people who want to be
Okay.
with one person who would say that.
Because at this point in
Yeah.
my life, I know very little. Um, Now again, I'm not saying like like oh everybody is just on it, but it's just it's from a lot of the people that I knew growing up, that obviously adults that I knew growing up, um, that that were with someone or want to spend the rest of like a lot of them aren't together anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy how life works. And I'm thinking to myself like this guy died. I mean, well, he didn't die, but he's dying, and he's saying, look. I know that I can still feel life because, again, for most people, and I'm sure this is an obvious fact, most people don't want. Most people are scared of death.
Yeah,
So I mean,
they are.
for him to say, look, as as good and as comfortable as it may seem to just upload and be a program, and I can deal with it feeling weird. how much morality, how much love does he have for his wife, and how much balls it takes to say, look, it's all good over there, but I'm missing somebody, and they're not there. I'm going to go over here and do the natural thing, and whatever happens to me happens. But hopefully, just hopefully, I see her. Dude, that's nuts.
That's nuts, bro.
That's crazy.
That's real shit.
And I know a lot of people gloss over that. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, he wasn't. No, literally, you know how much wisdom that takes and how much will that takes?
Exactly. And you know another thing about the dad, man, he was the realest dude in the entire show, other than the fucking golden retriever shrink. But the dad was the realest dude in the fucking show because
he threw that VR set first as soon as he got on that bitch.
Yeah, bro. He threw that shit, and then on top of that, he kept saying he never really, he was like, look, you know, Nathan's a great guy, you know, you could have picked a good one, but I wish you'd have met him when he was alive. He was like,
because now that he's dead,
he's like, weird. Yeah. He's like, he's like, I can't condone this. He's like, this unnatural stuff it's not going to work. So it's not going to work. And then now I'm theorizing here. Let's say that he was able. Let's say in season 2 he tries to re-download into a clone. Well, then she'll be dating and married a clone. She won't there's no natural anything there. You're dating a clone body with the supposed
original mind.
With the consciousness of the original person. Now, do you think that you could get past something like that?
You gonna put me in the seat?
I know.
You really want to put me in the seat, bro? Hey. You really want to put me in the seat right now?
You like to ask me them tough questions? I got you on one right here.
Right now, at 27 years old, if you're saying, all right, look, and you're saying like if I'm dealing with someone else that's a clone, right? Or if I'm the clone, which one are you at?
So let's say let's clear it up a little bit. So let's say that you let's say that somebody that you end up dating says, hey, by the way, I'm a clone and I had my consciousness re-downloaded into this body that was cloned of me. I just wanted you to know. What would you do? Because that's going to be a reality in our lifetime.
All right, Jaron. You're going to disagree with me on this one.
I may not.
But I'm going to go with yes. I would probably I wouldn't say I would feel, obviously there would be some weirdness there. However, we're talking about the same conscience though. That's the thing. If it were completely different, and if there was no part of that being left,
yeah, that's
no part of that of her soul left. No, but with her having the same conscience, but just a clone body, or let's say even a different body, because we know that's going to be a possibility.
Absolutely,
we know that there's going to be some people that are going to upload or download themselves, I guess, in this, clone themselves into a completely different body. Which again, to me, I think you should probably take away the whole word clone at that point. But, nonetheless, yes. I mean, if we're being completely honest, I'm being completely honest here. I wouldn't say, all open arms, like, oh, you're back, huh? No, it would be weird. Yes, of course. But we're talking about the same soul, just different body. Obviously, a woman's body. We're not talking no weird shit. Right. We ain't talking no weird shit over here, okay? Just saying that. Although I gotta put the disclaimer: there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, yeah, like again, like if she's in a different body, it's gonna be weird. But of course, it's still the same person, so I'm gonna have to go with yes. Again, my mind may change once we get to that point, or once you even come close to that point. Right. It might be somewhere, because again, we gotta think about like glitches and all that other shit. Like, And again, I know we're not putting that into a factor. I know you're not asking, you didn't put that into a factor. But I'm just saying, like, there is a possibility of that because it's not a real human being. But yeah,
Yeah, but now you got to remember we do have physical clones, like that they grow from stem cells, and you know what I'm saying, like and other cells of people and shit. Like why do you think all this ancestry DNA shit is popping off so heavy like it's popping off? It's practice. And all that data just got sold to a company who's had ties in, you know, the Middle East in war.
but you want to know the difference between the clones that they grow and the clones that they create and all this other stuff is that it's still in a way unnatural. So there's still going to be
For sure.
something.
For
There's
sure.
still going to be some things to where they're not going to be able to function right, if that makes sense. Like
No, you're right.
I don't want to
You're
get
right.
weird or anything, but I mean, you can
No,
talk about
you're right.
incest. I mean, you talk about where two siblings have kids together. What happens to their kids? They're fucked up, right? In some kind of way.
Absolutely.
Maybe not in a physical way, but a lot of times it's very physical. But yeah, they're fucked up in some kind of way, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever. Bro, clones are going to be no different. There's going to be something wrong with clones. And you
Yeah.
know what they're going to do to justify these things being wrong with clones? Please don't put me down this fucking rabbit hole, please. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going all out,
We're
right?
already down here,
We're
bro.
going all out, right? It's going to be the same shit they're doing right now where they're trying to justify all this weird shit to society, to where they're trying to
Yep.
shove all that shit down our throats right now. Guess what's going to
Yep.
happen when they come out with all these clones and a fucking clone, the clones only have 9 fingers instead of 10, or clones have 15 fingers instead of fucking 10, or clones are missing 2 toes and it glitches in and out. Like, I don't know, or they can regrow body parts or some shit, right? We're gonna make that seem normal because we're gonna say, oh, you're a fucking bigot for not accepting these clones. They're people just like us, right? Because what are they doing to other people right now? They're telling them that they're human too, right? They're
Yep.
just like us, and blah blah blah, and they should.
Yep.
I mean, and to an extent, yes, they should. But you can't say that we can't feel some kind of way because they're doing something unnatural.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
same
true.
thing with these clones and upload. It's like old dude gave her daughter a game. And I'm glad they made him black or half black or whatever he is. Like, that kind of made me happy a little bit. I was like, yo, they put a brother, at least I think he's a brother in there, and
A brother.
he told her some real shit. Like,
Yeah.
he said, look, he's a great guy, but I wish he were real because I hope you ain't trying to do nothing with this dude because he's
Right.
not real. you know, um, I like that aspect. I
Yeah.
really do like that aspect.
Yeah. I thought it was good. And yeah, I mean, we really did go off on a rabbit hole there, but
I know. I
yeah.
try not to, man. I'm so
No, it's
sorry.
okay.
I try not to, bro.
Because I had so much to add about some of the parts, but then you wrapped it up real nicely, and I'm not like, well, shit.
I don't think I don't think I wrapped it up real nicely, bro. I think I just got myself banned.
No, I mean, well, let's say if you want to talk clones and shit, I mean, we did just put out the video that said the ex-Israeli, head of like space, basically said that aliens have been here, and then we can look at who was the what was the sheep, the first sheep that was cloned in like '92? What was the name of it? Like Rosie or Dory or something like that, or Daisy? I think it was Daisy, the first ever cloned animal.
Yeah, I think Daisy or something
We
like that.
cloned that shit almost 30 years ago, bro. So you know that
Where's it at right now? It's probably dead, ain't it?
I don't know, probably. I think it died in like '03
Yeah, ghosts don't live that long.
or '04. Yeah. I think it was a sheep.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because
Which
goats
how
age,
ironic
like,
the
faster
first
than.
clone was a sheep.
Yeah, them things age. Yeah, they age super fast, bro. But
Yeah. So
what?
just
All
I'm
right.
just saying.
But before you move on, Jaron,
Uh-huh.
I gotta throw the question back at you.
Okay.
Would you?
Am I knowing that it was a clone body and the actual consciousness? Shit. I mean, honestly, it would depend on the person, but at the end of the day, I'm probably still going to say no for the simple fact of what's that?
Not to cut you off, but to cut you off. Think about the girl, whenever in your lifetime, the girl you like the most, the girl that made, and I'm not trying, but
yeah, I know
the
what
girl
you mean.
you felt the most butterflies about, right? The girl you actually cared about the most. Put
Yeah,
her into hell. Let's just say she dies, right? Put her back into the same body that she's in, or she was in, or whatever,
Shit.
right?
I mean, if you put it that way, I'm doing that probably. I mean, if you put it that way, but then again, that's so tough, man.
Because it's not her real body, but it's just like it, though, right? But it is her soul, it's her conscience. So she's still technically there, and she can still feel herself, but she knows that, hey, this body is not what I had before. It's something different about this body, but you can still go on life the same, still do the same things, and hell, you guys are pretty much there forever, right? Until you die.
I can't. That would probably be one of like the hardest decisions anybody would ever have to make in life, bro. Like legitimately. Dude, that man, like I can't go. I feel like I can't go against nature like that, man. I feel like that's just going to be bad. I feel like if I just, but then again, damn, that one's tough, dude. Cause you put it at me a little bit differently than I put it at you. You know what I'm saying? So
How so, though?
I mean,
That was the same thing you asked me.
It is, but I don't know. Maybe you just made me think about it a little bit harder than I thought about it when I asked you.
Maybe I should be a lawyer or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Damn, that one, man. I don't know. I'd have to sleep on that one, dude. Honestly, the majority of me wants to say still no, because ideally the like the person that I would put in that would be that person to me would probably feel the same way about that type of shit that I do. So like I don't know if even this person would do something like that. You know what I'm saying in general. But if it's, let's say they did, man, I don't. That's a tough one, dude. That's a real tough one.
I mean, you got to think about it.
The majority of me still wants to say no, but there's something within there with me and wants to say, yeah, I would do it. Like just to have that person back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It also would depend on how old I was too. But if I was my age now, I don't know. It's a lot of life left, I guess, right? Like I don't know. But then if I was still even, just a few years older, I'd probably say things differently, or even, the same age. That's a real tough one, dude. That's a real tough one. I can't. I don't know if I can really give an answer, dude. To be honest,
and you know what's funny? I said yes, and I haven't even had that kind of like.
See, I have, so I'm.
You know what I mean? I haven't really had that kind of like relationship where I'm like, oh my god, I'm so in love. You know what I mean? Like it's just like,
I know what you mean.
But like I like to think though, if I actually like, there are some ex-girlfriends that they did that shit and they came to me and they were like, hey, look. Now, again, granted, like if they weren't terrible, but let's just say they weren't, right? If I didn't have a terrible ex-girlfriend, then yeah, of course, like I would, of course. Now, if you're talking about like someone, if you're talking about in Nora's situation though, what about if you were, now, again, I know we need to move on with more stuff because we got to cover this, but I want to ask you this, a second part to this question now, because I just thought about it. What if you were in Nora's situation, you had just met someone that was dead through that system at your job, obviously. Mm-hmm. And you started gaining feelings for him because you're their quote unquote angel, right? If you were someone's angel, which by the way, we are explaining what angels are, right? To the audience last episode, right?
We did, yeah.
Okay. So assuming you all remember what angels are, if you're someone's angel that's dead and you have feelings for him, would you do it? Like, and I'm talking like they're bad bitch, but she has a killer personality. You know what I mean? Basically, you're looking at her the same way Nora's looking at Nathan. Would you say fuck it?
And she's going to be dropped into a clone?
Yep. and you're
Oh,
and you
oh,
think
and if I'm already at that job doing that type of shit, then yeah, of course, yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah,
yes, of course.
you're already playing in that. You're already living in that sandbox. I mean, yeah, definitely. Now, if I was me now here, and then all of a sudden it was somebody that I had, I don't know. Yeah, that's that concept's still wild to me. I don't know. I couldn't really do that. I couldn't really. Yeah, I have to be in Noah's position. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I would do it if I was in Noah's position for sure. Especially if you feel that way that she feels in the show, and he feels that way, or in my case, it'd be a she to feel that way too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like again, man, I'm not. I know. I know. At least I used to joke a lot on this cast about the robot stuff and fucking robots. This is a different situation. We're talking about clones, and we're talking about
Yeah.
And again, like to me, it's
Actual
different and
flesh, yeah.
somewhat the same, but it's like their conscious is still there. Again, robots are different. I'm not fucking metal, even if there is a conscience there. Like that's not happening. But we're talking about a clone of a human life.
Right.
And she's hot, and it's the same chick you was kicking it with before. Yeah. Now again, ask me again in about 5 years, if even that.
Right.
Then I might have a different answer after we start experiencing this shit, and I'm like, oh whoa, wait, yeah, no. But for right now, like, yeah, if I was in North's position, yeah, or obviously it'd be reversed. I'd be, I'm a dude, so it'd be a chick that would be inside the upload joint. Then yeah, of course. Hell, if I was an angel, yeah.
I already know what you was getting at, and I feel you. just know,
because how many people was she in charge of? Like fucking like 5.
It was at least, yeah.
Shit, I worked there for free.
But remember, you got that crazy ass boss to worry about.
Oh, she can get it too. She won't be mad at me for long.
She was trying to get it. She was getting it with the veteran dude. She was banging the. She just wanted to bang the clone.
Can we talk about? We didn't even mention that last review that we did on the first half of the season, but she showed up in the second half as well. The grandma, Ingrid's grandma, the one that was in black and white. She's like 100 and something years old.
Oh shit! Yeah,
bro. That's another, because we talked about the possibility of people meeting remember that really rich old guy, the guy that said, "Ha, you weren't murdered," and start hipping hopping all off. There's people in there from ages and centuries ago. That one to me was really, really interesting. Like, I think that was one of the things that we kind of glossed over a little bit last episode. But man, just imagine. Me, I've always thought about that. I've always, put that in a possibility, and put that in the realm of reality of being able to be in a universe of like maybe like your great grandfather or your great grandma or some shit like that. Like just people from generations before. Like that's some crazy shit. Very, very crazy shit.
Yeah. And man, and the thing about that is like, I wonder how they would feel in that situation because that digital world is so, especially since their upload is so old, like that digital world is so new and it's like in color and vibrant. Like I wonder how they would feel from their perspective. Like, oh yeah, I've been uploaded, and you know what I'm saying. You're sitting there on a fucking hard drive, essentially. But I guess that's just the avatar that they chose, not necessarily. Because I guess technically in that what I'm saying doesn't make sense because they already would have been living in that time period to have been uploaded. They just chose an older avatar. But still, like, yeah, that's a crazy thought to think, oh, you're 103. Look at the life that you've seen. Look at how you've seen life transform over a century. Like a century of life, that's a lot. Like that, like there's a lot of changes within a century. Like if you live to be 100 years old, like I would like to talk to somebody who's 100 and be like, "Yo, what do you actually remember like living through?" And like,
bro, think about some of these old. Like I used to look through some of these old presidents, right?
Yeah,
the ones that were born in like 80 something, but died in like 1960. I'm like, how the
Yeah,
fuck
bro.
did you like? That was like a huge. We had TV by 1960, so I'm like,
yeah, bro.
bro, how did you go from like not having shit to like, okay, there's an actual economy here? Like, again, I mean, there was an economy in the 1800s. Don't get me
Right.
wrong, but not
But
compared to what it was like 45 years before we were born. You know, like
yeah.
that's nuts, man.
1880s, that's not too long after Emancipation Proclamation, dude. Like that's not like that's back there.
Yeah, like niggas was chill.
You know what I
Niggas
mean?
was still chilling with lamps in their homes. Like that's how you lit
Right.
up your house was lamps. Like there wasn't any ceiling lights and all this other shit. Like that's some weird stuff, bro.
Man, and the thing, just look at that. From 1880 to 1980. Just look at that. And then add another 40 years after 1980 and then look at that. We went from lamps and lamp powered, I'm saying lamps in the homes and not even automobiles really. There were a
Yep.
few to in the 80s you got all the fucking you got the TV, you got the phone, you've had World War II, you've gotten you got the Nazi scientists, you got all their knowledge and all their shit that they brought over here. You got like hardcore drugs and shit now. You got computers, you got just portable phones, I think in 1980 at that point. Like,
Yep.
and then you look at 2020 and you look what we got now.
Yep. Like I look
Interdimensional
at
travel and cloning and all kinds of crazy fucking shit.
and the travel is crazy too. Like think about somebody that was born in fucking 1915, and then thinking
Yeah.
about how planes were back then and how planes are now. Like it, or
Yeah.
hell, go from planes then to 1980 and how planes were. You know,
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah.
Like my oldest living relative, which is my mom, my great grandma, which is my mom's mom. She was born, I want to say like 1930. She's still
Oh shit, really?
alive, bro.
Wow, that's dope.
Like like she's seen. I can't even imagine, bro. I can't even imagine. And again, I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but like again, I can't fucking imagine, bro. I can't imagine.
Just like the stuff like hell. What if let's just say we make it to 70, 75? What do you think we would think?
I
Because
know
we've
I
seen the
won't.
beginning of the shit. Yeah, I won't
Yeah.
either. But let's just say we do.
That would
You
be
think the
nuts,
shit that we
man.
would have been seeing, you know?
I mean, look at the shit we went from flip phones to fucking wristwatches, like to wrist phones. Like niggas
Yeah.
got phones on their fucking watches now. Like
Yeah.
I remember playing the snake game, like playing Snake on my mom's flip phone when I was like 7.
Yeah.
Now it's 20 years later, and we're doing this, which I guess you could probably do this back in the day, but you know what I mean. Stuff like this, you know.
Yeah, man. It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to fucking think about. Now, do you remember the little fight they were having over the hard drives in episode 10?
Oh no, that was yeah, that was one of the other episodes, but yeah, where old dude stole it too and threw it in the pond.
Yeah, threw it in the pond, and then it turns out it wasn't the actual one.
Oh yeah, that was episode 8. Yeah.
Was that episode 8?
Yeah, I was watching that earlier today. I skimmed through 10.
Shit.
Yeah, I skimmed through that one, but episode, yeah, that was like one of the earlier, the couple episodes before 10. But yeah, old dude threw the hard drive in the fucking water.
Yeah, man. And now let's just play on that scenario for a second. What if you had a relative or somebody that you had uploaded and the only copy of the hard drive got damaged? Then what? Then they're not even dead in real life. They're just poof. They're just done. Like could you imagine what would happen to your consciousness if it didn't go the natural way and it went the unnatural way?
That was
just into the ether, like nothing.
And see, that's the point where, to me, it just goes to, it's just beyond our comprehension, because we can't really comprehend not having a conscience.
Right.
I mean, we kind of can. We can just say like, oh, we just become matter at that point, like dust or something. But I don't know, man. Not having a conscience is a hard thing to think about. Like, it's just like, again, this whole entire show is talking to us as humans, saying like, after death, you can still have a conscience. That is the entire premise of the show. Is you can still live after death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not having a first of all, the thing about not having a conscience after death, again, that to me, at least, that's beyond my comprehension. Like, I can't comprehend nothing after death. I just can't. However, like you said, going unnaturally, your conscience going unnaturally, rather than your conscience going naturally in your original death. I can imagine being a family, not even a family member. I can imagine someone close to me, that happened to someone close to me, that I'm still keeping in contact after they died. Which, to me, can we just stop for a second and think about?
Yeah, man.
Talking to someone after they're dead.
Right.
Did we talk about that last? I keep forgetting what we talked about.
Not in a way. I think we're going to go into it tonight if we did.
Okay. So we already have that. Okay. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. But for someone close to me to be able to talk to them after death and then no longer be able to talk to them after death, that's crazy. I mean, again, let's go back to where he talked to his brother, or I don't know. I keep thinking of brothers. It was his best friend, right? Was his name Jamie or something like that?
Yeah, the one that he thought was fucking him over, but then he said he just was smashed.
He was just fucking his girlfriend instead of fucking him. Yeah. Which I mean, you know what? I love the dialogue in that scene too. Did you pay attention to that scene when you watched it? The second time? Okay. Because because when first time I saw it, I was like, the fuck? How are you just gonna gloss over that? But you got to really think about it. Dude's already dead. He's dealing with trying to stay alive while after death and trying to get away from Ingrid. And because she's pretty much controlling it and every time they disagree, she threatens to just cancel all his shit.
Right.
Which again, I will probably get into that too, because that's some fuck shit. But anyways, again, it's never mind, whatever. But yeah, the dialogue between where he's like, look, he's like, look, I get that you were fucking my girl, but there's some bigger things, bro. He said, he said, dude, I would be even more mad at you, but I kind of need a loan right now to kind of get out of this fucking hell that I'm in. Which again, I like that dialogue. He was like, you know what, I'll save it for when I download you. I'll kick your ass. And he's like, I would like that. That was cool because that's your boy, right? Like,
that's some bro shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's like, look, man, the bro shit, but they handled it in a bro way.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, look, man, I fucked up. And again, that's some pussy shit too. He kept ignoring his calls too. I'm like,
yeah, that is some pussy shit.
You can ignore your boy's calls, and then once he like continues to bug you, then you're like, oh yeah, like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's some weak shit.
But eventually, he did admit to, I wouldn't even say he manned up, but I guess you could kind of say he manned up a little bit.
But here's the thing. I have a theory for the second season. I don't think that's done yet.
That what's not done yet?
The possibility of him basically sabotaging Nathan's boy, basically sabotaging Nathan and killing Nathan. I don't think that's done yet.
Oh yeah. Of course not.
Because I don't know if you remember, but in the first in the first episode, Ingrid, they were not the first episode, but the first 5 episodes, they showed Ingrid swapping out some shit in his car.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be more to that in the second season.
Well, she changed it to occupant safety. What she say? Occupant protocol.
Yeah.
She changed the protocol like in the car.
Yeah.
Because she later admitted that to her dad.
Yeah.
Because that's where they ended this show. That's where they ended the season off at. Was making it seem like it was the dad that kind of got him killed.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit, man.
But then again, it's probably not him. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Like I said, man, they've been playing hot potato with who actually murdered this dude.
Yeah.
Again, but the way they're doing it, the way they played into it, I like the way they did this show, man. I like the way they did the show because you could have this show could have still been good, still been great actually, just because of the elements that they put into the show. It still could have been great if they would have done what I thought they were going to do when Brittany told us the premise of the story, because I thought what they were going to do in the first episode, they were just going to they're going to get a stupid ass death. He was going to like slip on a banana and get hit by a car or some shit. And then, oh, I'm now in this new upload thing. And then it was going to explore all the stuff that we're talking about, like all the upload shit. But the fact that they played in the part that this dude got set up by someone close to him too, I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, like
this is tricky, man. This is tricky.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. And you know, I'm kind of hyped for the second season. I'm not gonna lie, because look, the humor is decent enough. They left the last episode on kind of a, you know, all right, you know, it's going to get good from here on out. But they left it in like a who done it kind of situation instead of a, you know, the more of the leading on the lover end of the thing. But they did, however, leave it with Ingrid uploading and saying, "Hey, you know, I'll be with you forever," or some shit, whatever the fuck she said at the last of the episode. Now, like at that last episode, but so it's going to be interesting. So we pretty much left the season with Ingrid uploading, and the plot twist of hell from who really did what they did to Nathan. You know, so I think season 2 is going to be telling. I think, you know, I think season 2 is going to be pretty telling. But yeah, man, I think
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. We're gonna say.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say. You know, I think Nora is going to do some drastic shit with herself too. I think that she's going to. I don't want to say she's going to upload, but I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to go down that road yet. I feel like they're going to turn this into like a virtual love triangle with the twist of who done it mixed into it.
Yeah,
because, again, like I said.
I don't want her to go down that road. I don't want her to upload herself, because then it's just going to be like, because then it's going to get to a point where it's like, all right, what kind of message are we really sending here?
Right.
In this show, like you already have one person that killed herself. You got one dude that was set up to be killed. He gets killed, and now he's in upload. Then you got his girl, who he has made it very clear, again, that he doesn't even want her to be his girl, but you know, all that other shit. But I get it, drama and all that other shit. So you know, you gotta put that in the show. But then you got her killing herself to upload. Like, she seemed excited to be uploaded, and I'm like, fam, you just got in an argument with your dad, your rich dad, about killing this dude,
right?
Or trying to prevent it, whatever the fuck. And then I'm like, how much money you really think niggas gonna be paying for you to be in fucking upload? First of all,
exactly. And you did the shit willingly. And also, you got to remember, when she went to that little Alcoholics Anonymous type setup, the little shrink session, where she was saying, she has pros and cons for basically marrying him or deleting him. And she was trying to weigh him out, and then it went to the next scene real quick.
If that's not a crazy bitch, I don't know what is.
Bruh.
That's 90% of women that I have met is, or had any kind of relationship with. It's like, do I hate him or do I love? Like, what? How do you not know whether you even like someone or not? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what's funny? Because I was watching. I saw that scene today, and I'm like, I had to like rewind it again. And I was like, wait, what did she say? And she was like, I don't know where I should, you know, delete him or I should marry him. And I'm just like,
yeah, that's just, yeah. I guess that's part of you know, I guess that's what all the dating coaches say, right? That's what keeps women, you know, intrigued, right? Is the up and the highs and the lows, right? And you're supposed to keep on the toes, right? Isn't that what that's supposed to go?
I don't know what dating coaches say because I have not listened to a dating coach a day in my life, and nor will I ever will. Um, but I'll just take your word for it. Another point I want to make though is why the hell? Now, okay. Well, actually, let me backtrack a little bit to what we were just talking about. First of all, Ingrid, right? She went to the Alcoholic Anonymous shit, whatever. She went to a meeting, and
But
then
it wasn't an
she was
AA
holding
meeting, but
a
it was.
bottle. Well, yeah, but she was holding a bottle of whatever the fuck when she was getting an argument with her dad, where she slammed the
Oh,
food on the ground.
that's true.
I guarantee you that's probably the way she. I guarantee you that's probably what she died. She died from like either alcohol poisoning or something, or like she took some fucking pills before she. It'll be some really white
Something.
girl shit the way she died. I guarantee it. I guarantee it'll make it some white girl shit the way she died.
But they never really showed it. They just showed it like, "Hey,
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
here."
no. No, but that's going to be the thing. Season 2, they're going to show it. They're going to show it.
I think you're right. I think you're right about that. Yeah, I think you're right.
They're
about
definitely going to show that season 2. I guarantee it. They're going to show that season 2. We're going to find out who actually killed him in season 2, and we're going to find out that his best friend Jamie is like you said is going to be playing a bigger part in all this bullshit. I'm like, fam, how all this time you've been annoying your boy and you only made $3,000? I was like, ain't no way that nigga only has $3,000. He's like, yeah, I got $3,000. He only got $3,000, but I was
That's what
gonna
I'm
save it
saying.
for a new what do you say? A new fucking program or some shit.
A new a CPU update for the upgrade for the server. It's like
Oh
we
yeah,
really
yeah,
need it, but I'll give it to you.
yeah. He's like, but I'll give it to you. I'm like, just like that,
$3,000.
you'll give it to him after ignoring this nigga for how long?
And only $3,000. I call
And
bullshit.
only $3,000, which is hard for me to believe because the kind of job you have.
I call bullshit.
I'm like, bruh, nah, I don't believe it.
Yeah, I call bullshit heavily.
These niggas were about to walk into a hell of a lot of money before this nigga got killed.
Yeah, and you could see because I don't know if you remember the scene where he was able to like I don't know if he was able to hack in it. Like remember when they went to the like the dark web essentially of the upload world, and
Yeah.
he popped into his phone for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell the dude been wheeling and dealing since he's been uploaded. Like you can just tell. Like they were dropping hints about like him not responding, but then every time they do mention him, he's like always in a meeting or like on like getting something cooking up or something like that. So it's like
trying to get a deal done.
Yeah, trying to get a deal done or something like that. So it's like $3,000, bro. I don't know, but that's why earlier I mentioned don't count him out either because
Still though, I think he's a shitty friend. But I don't think he really had anything to do with because I don't know. It's just like I looked at his like again the way they presented it to us. I don't think that he had anything to do with the actual killing part, but I do believe that he did want to eliminate Nathan from the equation in terms of business, which again is a fucked up thing to do to your boy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, he's fucked up, but I don't think he really had anything to do with trying to kill him though. Like with anybody killing him though. My finger is still going to be on Ingrid's dad. Not because that was the last clue that they gave us, but that was probably the biggest like red flag that they gave us was like, she even said, I tried preventing him from dying in the car. So we know Ingrid didn't kill him. First of all, she's too stupid to fucking kill him. But again, I mean, she did not tell him that her dad was at least trying to kill him. So if there's one thing we do know is that her dad did want him harmed in some kind of way.
In some way, yes, that's true.
We don't know if he killed him, but I still have my finger on the dad just because. Obviously,
that's probably where it's going to go. But I would be surprised if they try to at least twist some other shit in some way to kind of throw somebody else into the mix. It's like, yeah, the dad wanted it, but via this person, this event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I doubt it's all the dad's doing, and there's gonna be other people involved. I guarantee that too.
Yeah, and to go back to I can't remember what episode it was. For the people watching this, I am not going to remember the episodes. So like the episode numbers, by the way. But I want to go back to a point in the second half of this season and point out a part in which when Nora's dad was in the upload with at Lakeview with Nathan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I want to see the memory. I want to see, memories of your childhood or some shit like that, right? He sits in a little hair dryer, little chair thingy, and it shows him the memory. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you remember the scene that I'm talking about.
I do.
How crazy, and I know it's going to be very crazy, but how crazy would it be that in the future they can see what we see or what we saw from our memories? Because you got to remember, he said, I don't remember. He said, half my memory has been deleted. Because remember, he told Jamie that when he was on the phone call with him. He said, half my memory has been wiped. Now I don't know if that was the hard drive stuff or what. I mean, I guess it had to be. But
remember those files Nora found in the first half? I think
the
it was
what?
one of the first, those files that she found.
Oh
that
yes,
were,
that was because somebody was moving those files.
Yeah, and somebody deleted them off her computer.
Yeah. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay. So we know all this is playing into the whole business part, but I did want to ask you a question. How crazy, not to go too off topic, but how crazy would it be for you to be able to sit down in a chair and somebody show you memories of shit that you had forgot about?
Fucking mind-boggling, bro.
I don't think that would ever be able to happen. I'm going to be honest.
Will. Hey,
of all the things that are possible, I do not think that's going to be possible.
Did you forget?
I don't think that's going to be possible, bro.
Did you forget part of the Great Reset plans?
Hey, fuck the Great Reset, bro. I do not think that's going to be possible.
They said they wanted to be able to.
They want to be able to, but let me tell you something.
Emotions. They're
it is going to take some serious, and I mean, it is going to take the highest, the smartest of smart people, and even still, I don't think it'll work. To be able to go into someone's, and I mean, I'm talking about without surgery, without opening up someone's fucking. I'm talking about being able to just connect, put something in someone's ears, or put something like without actually going into physical surgery, being able to. What's the word? Electronically go into someone's brain and trigger moments in their brains that they forgot about or that they just don't remember, like vaguely or like sharply. I don't think that's going to be possible, bro.
It may or may not, but remember, if you can manipulate, if we get to the point where we can manipulate a consciousness, that is a byproduct of that. So whether we're already at that point in reality or not, if we do get to the point where we can manipulate consciousness, that will be a byproduct of it. Oh, well, since we can manipulate it, let's go in and look at little individual parts and tap into the memory and tap into all the emotion of the like whatever the fuck consists of a consciousness, right? Like.
Yeah, but we're talking about actual memory. Like it, dude, I don't. All right, let me use this for example. I cannot remember the first time I ever picked up a fucking football. So now, let's say 30 years later, if even that, obviously, they try and come up with some shit. Oh, we're gonna tap into your memory and do all this other stuff. Like, there's gonna be some people where they start doing this whole guessing game of like. You're sitting in a room and there was a purple vase in there. Like, that's fucking obvious. But I'm talking about like a real fucking memory where it's like, oh shit. Like, you can see what I couldn't even fucking remember, bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think that's ever going to be possible. And nor would I even want that to be possible.
No, I wouldn't want it either. But if things keep going on this train that they're going on, it'll be possible. Think
about any human being. You think any human being would want for people to bring up any? I mean, people have done some terrible stuff. Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. We're fucking. I wouldn't say rightfully so, but we're humans. We're gonna make mistakes. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna make choices. Like people stolen money before. You think people actually want the government to upload a memory of them stealing from fucking, I don't know, from school or from fucking Walmart or some shit? Like, you think anybody would really want the government uploading something like that?
I mean, probably not.
So it's like,
probably not.
I don't think that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we would ever be on. Now, I know there's ways to get us on board. It's the same way we sit down and watch people do magic tricks, literally. You know, and it's the same way we sit down and let them put VR headsets on us, no matter how cool they are. But people still do it, right? Because it's the advertisement, it's the marketing, right? It's oh, you can feel like you're actually there.
This is the
So now it's
next
going to be like,
thing.
oh, you can feel 6 years old again when you threw your first football, you picked up your first, baseball or whatever, or first controller. Like
Yeah.
people would flock to that. But whether or not it would actually be possible, or because I don't want to go too deep into this rabbit hole because I just seem like to be opening up all these rabbit
I'm
holes
still
tonight.
saying I think it'll be
But
possible, as much as I don't want it.
yeah, we'll agree to disagree. But
Yeah.
in that area, I do believe what will happen is they will create a memory. And I wouldn't even say a memory, but they will create their own memories of us and make us believe them.
Now
I mean,
you're getting into it.
We're talking about Mysterio type shit.
Yeah, now you're getting into it.
Illusions. If you can create your own illusion of someone's life, you got them.
Hey, Corn, guess what? What you're mentioning right now is what they were trying to do with Project MK Ultra, but they were using LSD to try and get to that point. And other like torture tactics and shit like that. Trauma. You see what I'm saying? So the same end goal that you're talking about, they've been doing this to people since the fucking 50s.
I got a story about MK Ultra for you too that deals with comics.
What's that?
Look up Winter Soldier.
Oh,
just at some point
okay.
this week, while it's still in your head,
Okay.
look up Winter Soldier. Marvel Winter Soldier or Bucky
film?
Barnes. Huh?
Okay. The Captain America film?
Yeah. Well, you can watch the film too. It will be better if you watch the film, but you can look at the story of the Winter Soldier. It's there. I mean, there's different variations of them, but once you find the story that I'm talking about, you'll know exactly what it is.
Okay.
MK Ultra and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Because as soon as you said MK Ultra and you said the whole LSD and then making them think that all this stuff was creating their own memories and stuff, I was like, oh shit, Winter Soldier.
Yep.
There's a moth in my room somewhere and I can't fucking get rid of it. But
got one in my house.
Dude, yeah, look that up.
Yeah, dude. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, man. Overall though, like we said earlier in the cast, man, this half of the season was a little on the dull side, but like we mentioned, it did have its ups, and it did have some parts that definitely guide you into a not only a second season, but a fairly anticipated second season, at least from me, and I'm sure Corn, I think you feel the same way.
Yeah.
And again, I want to shout out Brittany Needham for recommending us to watch the show, because I think it's a good.
Definitely.
It's a good one. It fills the void that Black Mirror left when they stopped uploading, because they were predicting the future so much. But then it adds a little humor to it too. So I can I can get down with it. But it does fill that Black Mirror void in my heart for this type of content.
And I gotta say, the first 10 minutes of the show, I thought was gonna be super cheesy, and I thought I was gonna turn it off.
Right.
But that opening scene did catch me a little bit, where it was like, "Welcome to upload," blah blah blah, and can you think yourself like, "The fuck is this?" I'm like, "All right, I might not watch the show," and then literally 10 minutes later, you're like, "Oh, word."
Oh, he's got to sign the terms of service before he fucking up.
Yeah,
they can do it on his deathbed. Oh, they just throw him in his face,
dude. That first night, that initial night where she was watching our live, she was in the live chat and recommended the show to us. Mm-hmm. That very same night, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. I texted Jaren and I was like, "Fam,
yep,
watch this."
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of things I recommended Jaren, but this one I pressed really hard. I was like,
yep.
No. I know you're saying you're going to check it out, but no, I'm serious. Watch this.
Yep.
And guaranteed you did. And again, mind-blowing stuff. I'm talking about stuff that whether it was stuff that we talked about here on Comrades, whether it was stuff that Black Mirror touched on, whether it was stuff that we didn't even think of. Well, I'm sure Jaren did because you've studied this shit for years and years and years. But like me, there was stuff in here that I didn't even think about, bro.
Well,
And I'm just
they
like,
had
wait a minute.
some stuff
Yeah,
that I was like, oh damn, So yeah, they had some stuff in there, man.
even stuff as little as like, okay, you can put your shit in different futures and different modes and shit. Even stuff as little as that bellhop guy that was always smiling and trying to do, like, he was pretty much the handyman of everything, right? And then when he said, I'll never forget the only time I ever seen him frown was when he told him that it was his last night in like 5G or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's my last night here, and I'm gonna go on downgrading or some shit like that to whatever floor or whatever." And he was like, "Oh, you can get it yourself." Yeah, I was like, "Oh, word."
He wouldn't move him out. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can get
it's
you can get it yourself.
yeah, man, some crazy shit, man. And I always think about, like, it's just stuff like that where I'm like, if I could go back in time, like, I mean, even not even thinking about like false realities, but thinking about just different what's the word, quantum realms, I think is what they call it, right? The quantum realm,
Say that. Yeah.
where you can go, you can literally travel through time and go back. Like I had a conversation with I think it was with Adam and James when they were over here a few weeks ago and we watched Hot Tub Time Machine. And they go back in time and
I just watched that the other night, actually.
and dude, still one of it's my top 5 comedies of all time. I fucking love that. Okay. But anyways,
it is a great movie.
The nephew, he went back in time and met his mom, which was, obviously the main character's sister. And I'm thinking to myself, like, and so I asked James and Adam, I'm like, if you could go back in time, obviously, we were sitting outside smoking after it, but I was like, I was thinking, super, super, weird shit. But I was like, if you could go back in time and actually like kick it with your parents when they were like our age, would you do it? And we all three were like, nah. But I'm thinking myself like, there's certain relatives that I have that I probably would go back in time and actually see how they were when they were like in their 20s or hell even in their teens. Like I know I always feel like there's something will go wrong in the universe because I do believe in the butterfly effect in terms of time travel. Because again, we are, by the way, we did do an episode of time travel on Comrades, so go back and listen to that. But in terms of time travel, like that's something I would never even want to touch, only because there is this thing called a butterfly effect. So yeah, it's some weird stuff, man. And this show, even though it doesn't dive into time travel or anything like that, you got to think it's a different realm. So it's dealing with realms. So I think that the more contact, the more actual physical contact you have with someone that is in the upload, that is uploaded into a different reality from their own conscience, I think that could really fuck some shit up in terms of real life stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And it can, and again, there's this fine balance within nature, and if you try and like diffuse that, or you try and you start adding in unnatural elements and trying to like twist the laws of nature and shit like that, shit's gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen, and I'm just wondering what that shit is going to be. I'm just wondering the reactions of these sort of the more unnatural basically we get as humans. I'm just wondering what's going to happen, and I'm not saying this in like we need to lower emissions, man. I'm talking about in our thoughts and our actions and what we project in the world and what we in the reality that we all create collectively as humans. Like that, what we put out into the world, that's going to affect the world more so than any emissions or any climate, global warming or anything like this, whatever fuck you want to call it. Which, again, I've heard 1,000 things for global warming, and I've heard 3,000 things against global warming. So that's a whole nother podcast of rabbit holeness there. But I'm talking about from a collective conscious point of view and what we decide to create in this reality. Um, and and if we, like I said, the more unnatural we get in that aspect, I think it'll have, a lot of detrimental results. But again, I'm hoping not. But I don't feel like you can, work against nature like that and have it be in your favor. So, so I'm just saying.
I can't imagine, and yeah, and like you said, like even to go back on the question I asked you earlier, like pretty much dating or being with a download, like a clone. Like I feel like there's some things that are gonna be, obviously there's things that are gonna be unnatural with that clone, but I feel like there's gonna be an unbalance as well. Eventually, maybe not at first, because they have to advertise all this shit to you, right? Just like to do an upload.
Yes, of
But I
course.
feel like in the end, you're going to see the unnatural unbalance in the world, and I'm not even saying like in your life, but when you take unnatural and put it with natural, it's not going to be natural.
No.
Period.
Period. It's over with.
Um, yeah,
It's over
like
with at that point.
it's the same thing with uploading your content. Like we talked about this last episode, if we would actually upload ourselves, no, I wouldn't, because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is computer generated. It's just our conscious alive, and we're seeing it and we're feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, to me, that's beyond my comprehension, because I can't imagine my physical body being dead and then my conscience and my soul being alive, but I'm still feeling physical, and I'm not like in a different afterlife. I'm in this computer generated afterlife, which to me is controlled by living beings.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine that. That's beyond my comprehension in the real world. Now, are you going to get to this point? Maybe. I can't even say of course, but maybe. I know they're going to try. They've already tried.
Hell, we might destroy ourselves before we even get to the point. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. They might fuck up and have to jet off to Mars or the moon or some shit.
Yep.
Because that's in the works too. For them though, and probably not for us. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, you never know. Some shit could not go right. You know what I'm saying?
And then what?
They've done it perfectly for so long. You never know. It could become to a tipping point where like you said, like we were saying, nature has had enough.
And then what?
And then I'm gonna stack some more.
I'll stack some more. And then what?
Get fresh to my auntie's house.
But yeah, I mean, again, man, guys, this show is something you guys need to watch, man, because it dives into every I wouldn't say every possibility, 100%. But it does dive into different segments of life and different not segments, different stages of life. Yeah, you had a guy that was on his way to success, that was set up to be killed, and is now living in an alternate reality through his conscience in a computer generated system.
Yep.
And then you have on the other end, you have a woman that's so obsessed with him that she pays for his services to experience that afterlife.
Yep.
And now she holds it over his head every chance she gets, including sabotaging his own funeral, which I will still never get over.
Oh, dude, that scene was, oh my.
Whoever wrote that was again, it was so genius that it made me mad watching that fucking funeral scene. Like whoever did that, whoever's idea that was, great.
And that was the best, worst scene in the entire show. like that shit made me so mad. Not so mad, but it made me mad. It made me madder than shit like that typically makes me. I was like, man, what the fuck? And then the fact that he just sat there and just like,
the fact that his family sat there
at the end of the day, and his family and it wasn't no friends there because they all left.
And I kind of question. I hope they dive deeper into his personal life, into what he was like before he died too, before he was killed. Because I kind of want to question myself. I mean, I kind of got the answer a little bit, because you saw one friend try to hit on his girl, then his best friend fucked her. So it's like, maybe they were all shitty, and maybe he's not really maybe he wasn't a shitty person when he was living.
Right.
But
You never know.
it was kind of weird that all his friends had left when he was calling everybody's names. All his friends had left his funeral. His mom, his own mom didn't stay. His family didn't even stand up for him. Like it's like you're like this bitch run shit. His girlfriend runs shit, and then his mom takes his hard drive, and his girl takes it back.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
His mom is more clueless than he is.
Oh, she was super clueless. God.
I'm like, bruh, nobody's mom is gonna just hand that shit over to somebody's girlfriend. Like,
and I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember the part where she was like, "Morals, threw morals out the window." She was like, "I was willing to screw a lawyer to keep you alive, or some shit, or screw something to keep you alive."
Yeah.
Or just like, mom in the show is, Anyways,
Got me twisted.
Yeah, to say the least. Man,
Yeah, and then another stage of life was Nora's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with her dad dealing with it, and then her not be able. Another thing we didn't even talk about was people not even be able to afford to upload.
Oh, we did. We talked about it in the first part.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We already talked about that. Yeah. So in the end, Nathan he chose to go to downgrade, go to the cheap version. Then until he couldn't afford any more gigs, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he froze in black and white. And then this girl shows up. She says, "Hey, I uploaded. Basically, hey, I killed myself. Now I'm here. Now we can be together forever." And that's the end. Now we gotta wait a whole nother year for season 2.
And there's no confirmed release date or anything like that, is there yet?
I haven't seen anything. No,
I haven't seen anything either. We'll be I'm looking forward to season 2. We might review season 2. You never know. You never fucking know.
If it's good enough, we will.
If it's good enough, but the premise of the show I think was established with this season, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any final words on the show or just the premise or anything you want to add? But I just want to first say, I think it's a good show. Definitely worth a watch. There's some boring parts. Most of it's fairly eye opening. The relationships are meh. At the end of the day, I like what you said about Ingrid being important because she really is important in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Nora's role being somewhat not important, but sort of important, but almost unnecessary. But then kind of tie. I feel like they could have done a better job with tying her in, but I think we'll see that in season 2. When I say tying her in, I mean like. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I could really say that they could have done a better job tying her in because she was pretty intertwined, and he ended up meeting her dad and stuff like that. So, virtually, albeit, but I just think they could have done something a little bit differently with her. I just can't put my finger on what quite it should have been, but yeah.
And old dude came in her apartment and tried to kill her too. Like
and old dude, and then he was hacking. He was like looking to see where she was at and to help her get away from old.
That was some G shit. Because at first I was like, man, what a fucking cop out this is. But then the way he did it, he was a programmer before he fucking died, so it made sense. He
did that same sort of shit.
Yeah, it made sense.
A competitor. Yeah,
the way he just tore that fucking phone apart, and dude, that was cool.
Yeah, you're damn right. Shit, man. Well, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up? I think it's been a good season, good review.
Yeah.
Overall, between the two parts,
great season, great review.
yeah. Shit.
But yeah, man. Continue to check us out here on Comrades. We just uploaded 2 episodes from the archive from SoundCloud today right here on YouTube. So go ahead and check out 2 new episodes. I'm looking at it right now. It is 1. So we uploaded over 4.5 hours of content today, not including this video.
Definitely. And this is another hour and a half. So we're looking at 6 hours of content within basically
24 hours.
This will probably, within 24 hours. Yeah. So y'all got a lot of watching to do. That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm. And we have 1 episode that's talking about preparing, prepping for the destabilization of society.
Yep.
That one's a little more recent, so make sure you guys go and check that out. If you guys want to, little prepper guide from us. Great moments in there, and then our the other one is the Colts and MLMs. So it's talking about the multi-level marketing and all that other stuff. And a minute, and we also have a deep chat as well, a little deep conversation a little bit after that. That episode was super fire, man. So I encourage you all to go and check that one out as well. Especially if you're into like the Colts and if you want to know more about multi-level marketing and want to know about Adam's experience, Jaren's experience with multi-level marketing and stuff like that. So check that stuff out. We got a lot of content here at Contemporary Comrades, a lot of stuff we put out over the past 7 days. And when I say a lot, we put out a lot. So,
I'm just going. I feel like I'm ad-libbing. Yup. It's beginning of a Wiz Khalifa song or something. Yup. Yeah. Yup.
Yeah.
What? But yeah, man. It's been the Comrades. Like and subscribe. Check us out. Check out everything that Corn just fucking told you to check out. Shout out to everybody who's watched. We'll probably, who knows, man, if we come up with some more shows or movies or something, we'll probably do some more reviews. It's not the end of reviews on this channel by any means. So, if we come across something cool, or if anybody's got any recommendations, because that's how this came about, let us know, contemporarycomrades@gmail.com, or just comment on a video. We'll see the shit. So
you can also reach us on IG as well.
Absolutely. IG, Contemporary Comrades Podcast. Which, by the way, we're posting on there fairly frequently as well. So, like I said, we're doing shit, man. Just be on the lookout, shit's coming. But shit, this has been a Contemporary Comrades. It's Heavy J. That's Corn. And we out. Peace.